welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New Year.
Welcome to another episode of Blank Pages. As before in 2024, I am your host, Khalib. To my right is the lovely, once again, for 2025 is Tony Ann.
How you doing?
And our AV tech guy, Raymundo. You already know. I already said it last year for all of the episodes, so we're not about to do it again.
Only he can call him Raymundo.
As you already know. Even Tony Ann don't even disrespect the rule like that. How y'all been? How's y'all New Year?
Year's been good so far. Good start,
Same. It's been really good so far, Thankful. Can't really complain.
True. Question, when do you stop saying Happy New Year?
After like a month. After like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, I think we're reaching that mark.
I kind of
me.
measure it like, all right, it's a month, definitely.
After
I feel like
January.
After February, when February
February.
start, don't even say it.
Yeah.
Stop.
yeah.
The
Don't
last
say
day of January. It's just
It's safe mode. But
Yeah.
like, when do you stop actually saying? Because I went to the supermarket and the lady was like, Happy New Year. And I was just like, baby girl, we in the double digits. Like,
it's the second week.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like after January you wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Like we get it.
We get it. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I wish you a happy New Year.
We get it.
We get
First
it.
30 days, you
Yeah.
got it.
We got it.
After that, no more.
We got it. Well, I hope you guys
How
are
you
having a good New Year. Hope you guys are making plans. That's something I actually started doing this year, which is
Planning.
not planning, but like, you know how they always be like, I'm making a New Year resolution. Yeah, that was
Oh.
never me. And I was just like, yeah, I have plans for this new year, but they're not resolutions. But actually, I think for this year, it was more like I am actively trying to get things resolved so I can see the meaning behind.
What resolutions?
Yeah, New Year resolutions. But yeah.
I'm not really doing resolutions so much anymore. For me, I think I'm pretty much just setting goals
Mhm.
and just aiming to just get those goals done. I'm not setting them at the beginning of the year.
Mm,
I'm just setting goals in general.
I
So
like that. I think what I'm doing differently this year
mhm.
is setting goals, but as they come.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like not trying to set like 10 goals and have them completed within the year because you don't even know which one to focus on.
Exactly.
So like I'm trying to focus on one goal at a time. Not trying to master the goal, but at least be good at it before I even try to hop onto another one. So let's say like I have about like, let's say, and also keep the list realistic.
Yeah.
Like don't put 10 things on your list. You only got 12 months. Like be realistic. So I made it about like 5 to 6.
Mhm.
Each goal could take anywhere between 1 to 6 months. Let's be honest.
Mhm.
But however, it's like I believe like some of my goals, like for instance, if I want a new job, but you got to take some type of training or school for it,
It's gonna take time.
it's going to take time.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Ray about to go to school. By the way,
Yeah. I was just about to mention that. Thank you. Thank
how's
you.
that been?
Haven't started yet, but
What is it for?
accounting. So it's just a continuation of what I'm doing now. But like as you said before, like even it's not about New Year's resolutions I stopped doing, right? It's more like looking at where you're at now
Yep.
and see how it could benefit you
Yeah.
long term versus the short term. You start to prioritize,
Yeah,
because you can have a whole bunch of goals and it's just like it could get a little overwhelming,
facts.
right? So just taking your time with prioritizing is like,
There you go.
yeah. So last year, I was like, all right, gotta get back into school. What's the benefit of going back to school long term? How would it impact everyone overall? All right, cool. This is number one. Tick. Let me apply. All right, cool. I hope I get accepted and blah, blah, blah. And then you finally get that letter. You got accepted. All right, cool. Yeah.
In the Bible, it talks about knowing the cost before you build.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what we do a lot is that we just see the building
Mm-hmm.
without knowing what it's going to cost from us.
Like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
And you invest yourself in it. But then
Facts.
when you get the bill, you're like, I can't handle this.
I can't pay it.
I can't pay it, but it's too late. You've already invested yourself in it. So really like sitting down and like sorting through things, seeing the benefits, planning through stuff and saying, is this something that I can do now?
Mhm.
Do I have the time for it? Can I, dedicate the time to get it done? And then making like an educated guess or an educated decision as to, do I attack this goal right now or do I save it for later?
Yeah.
And I think that makes the biggest what's the word I'm looking for?
Change
Change. The biggest
results.
we're just gonna go with change. Results and change. Yes.
Yeah.
That you will need and gives you the drive to really like actually get things done.
Facts.
Yeah.
And it's easy to stay more disciplined because like baking a cake.
Yes.
If you're trying to bake a cake from scratch, you do need to get the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for you to get to the ingredients, you do have to go out and go shopping and figure out what should I get, how to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me of like, companies, like for instance, let's say like Cinnabon. When I watched the documentary of how they had to go out to go find and source out these different ingredients, like they're not just getting cinnamon from a random person, they're getting cinnamon, wow, the word,
I can't
the word, oh my God, cinnamon.
I saw the rap like Ludacris over there. Like, yo, what?
Like they gotta get cinnamon. I had to say like a Jamaican for it to come out. They gotta get cinnamon from like the Appalachian Mountains. They gotta get the dough from like Paris. They gotta get the cream from like some Greek house. Like it takes time and effort for you to just build that one cinnamon, and it makes it more disciplined because you're not trying to tackle everything at the same time.
Yeah.
I like how Ray was saying like last year he started doing the prep work for this year. And I feel like a lot of times we don't even do the prep work. So while we make these goals and whatnot, it's like we make these goals and then when we're unable to even scratch the surface because we're unable to pick up the flour, we're unable to get the cinnamon, we're unable to get the icing, it's like we're failures. It's like, no, you're not failure. You're not failing. You just didn't plan properly.
There you go.
It's like the planning behind the result is more important than the result itself. Because if you do enough planning, the result gonna come.
Yep.
It's just the way how you plan it.
Yep.
So I feel like for this year, I feel like it will be more beneficial for us and also for our page turners to plan accordingly.
Absolutely.
Listen, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It has never been more true.
Jesus on the main line. It's all good.
When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's very important to do your planning. Even if it's as minimal as just creating a grocery list.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Knowing the things you want to go to the grocery store and pick up.
Girl, I'll be walking out. I'm like, how did I spend $200?
200, 400.
Well, you didn't do the planning.
There you go.
Exactly.
So just to piggyback on that. So you got to get all the details out of the way and do your research, right?
Yeah.
So like, all right. During the process, there's like reach out to an advisor. I was like, hey, what classes should I take? And he was like, yeah, you take 4 in spring, 2 in summer, another 4 in spring, and you graduate within a year. I was like, I'm gonna fail. I was like, it ain't happening. Let's do it. Never mind. Let me put these class together myself. We're gonna do it because it's a 2-year program, but he wants me to finish it a year. I'm like, we could do 18 months.
Yeah.
I feel like, and also it kind of wraps into like know yourself to be true. Like if I mean, honest. You know how they be like, honesty is the best policy. I feel like honesty is the best policy, especially when it comes to yourself.
Yeah.
Like if you know yourself and you know you're not that type of person, work around that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just work around it.
Figure out ways to set yourself up to be the best.
So what are some, because we kind of just jumped right into it.
We sure did.
And I'm sorry, we don't have a funny scenario or funny thing because we just jumped into it and we about to get into it. Yeah. So like, because last year, what has last year taught you for this year? Because last year, even with this joint, I think this podcast has taught me it's okay to plan for one goal at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of thought that, you know, in order to get the big goal, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that. And I realized if I'm not even mastering one thing, I can't even master the other four. So for me this year, it's like I'm being very diligent, very diligent. Like I have this goal, and granted I have 4 more goals, but I'm prioritizing this goal because all the other goals would definitely find, you know, it will definitely make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But let me take a time to just get this one goal. Cause that feeling of accomplishment, bruh, it's like an energy pack. It's like a
Yeah.
battery pack that's in you. Cause once you finally accomplish that one goal, you have no problem going into the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say the next one comes with 10 times more difficulty. Because you already accomplished goal number 1,
You're like, I got it.
goal number 2, that's a piece of cake. That's a cakewalk.
I got this.
So like what has last year, 2024, taught you for 2025?
just for me, it's just do it.
Mm.
Just do it. I sometimes kind of like paralyze myself with the planning and getting things ready and sorting things out, and then I'll have everything I need, but I'm like, what if this, what if that, you know, maybe I still need to sort something out. No, just do it. Just get up and do it. Like for example, recently my room was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. I was in and out. I was staying by my cousins for whatever reasons, for various things. Busy, just been busy, and just did not have the time, or was not making the time to just sit down and clean my room. But over the past week, like I woke up Monday and I was just like, I'm gonna clean my room. I'm just a little bit. First, I started off with just clearing off the bed, changing the bed sheets, and I did that. And I was like, okay, all right. Next up, let's throw the laundry in the wash. Let's get some of these things sorted. Did the sorting, got it all done. All right. Wash a few things at a time, a couple loads at a time. Cool. After washing, okay, fold it up. All right. Then the room started to like slowly come together. And I remember standing at the door like, I got this.
Yeah.
I've accomplished some parts of it. It's one big goal, but there are little tiny goals in between. I had everything I needed. I just needed to just not overthink it and just get it done.
Facts.
And it's
Always reminds
good
me
Well
of
said.
that.
Because well said. You know, and that's the thing. Sometimes we look at these, like maybe your room or the home, and you say, "Well, this is a mountain of work. This is a lot of work." And for some folks, it's they don't know where to start. They're trying to figure out where to start.
Facts.
But the more you're thinking, is the more that keeps piling up and
Yep.
piling up, and it
Yep.
just
Facts.
almost never gets done. But just getting started with,
Yeah.
even if it's small,
Facts.
right? And then
Little stuff.
until it starts to
Increase.
that snowball effect becomes
Yep.
bigger, and all of a sudden you take a look around, you're like,
I got
yeah, I did this.
done.
You know, a simple analogy like that, it translates well into a lot of things that our goals and what we want to accomplish too. Start small,
Start small.
but just start.
Yeah.
More important.
Just start. Just get it done.
Yeah,
Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when we start to overthink things, that's when it becomes more complicated than it should
Yeah.
be. I remember being told, and also reading this, stupid people are successful or more successful than smart people.
Mm.
And I'm just like, no, they not. No, they not. But in honesty, the reason why they're more successful, and I think I said this on another episode, while you're over here, let's say it's cleaning our room, right? You're over here overthinking about cleaning your room. I'm the dumb idiot that's just like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to just start. And as you start, you really start learning exactly what it really takes to start cleaning your room.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're sitting over here
Trying to,
organizing a schedule, trying to figure out when you can tackle the corner, the left corner, the clothes, the bed, I'm over here just starting. Now, granted, now I'm not saying that just starting is going to lead to success, but starting is going to be somewhat of a step forward to success than you sitting down and planning out everything.
and not doing anything.
So, granted, I know understand like how we started off saying like you have to plan, but there's times where we hit like a mindset where we're over planning.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to plan out everything. We're trying to plan out all the disasters that may come. We trying to plan out all the success that may come. When you should just be planning about the starting.
Yeah.
Like your plan should be, how am I going to start this instead of how am I going to get this?
In the simplest of ways, so that you can get moving.
Yeah, I feel like when we start to chase the things that matter to us, that's when we reach a sense of accomplishment. But when you start to chase the things that don't matter to us, like we're chasing this money, but this money don't lead to peace. We're chasing this job, but this job don't lead to no growth. We're chasing this boy or this girl, but they don't lead to no joy. Then we lose ourselves. But when we start to chase the things that matter to us, like for instance, Ray. Of course, Ray would love to get a degree in 1 year. Is that going to lead to peace, Ray?
No.
Nope.
Exactly.
Havoc in other places.
So like imagine him now trying to chase his degree in 1 year. That's going to come with a lot.
Yeah.
And then he's going to feel overwhelmed. And now the goal of getting this degree is no longer a goal. It's now a hurdle. It's now a mountain. It's now just this thing that is now chaotic instead of a good goal.
Yeah.
I feel like when we start to chase the things that matter to us, and I'm not saying money, I'm talking about like peace, joy, kindness, love, growth, like those things that matter to the heart. You can't put a price on peace. I think we said this in one of our husband episodes. Bruh, we cannot put a price on peace. When you start to chase those things, everything else will find its way out. Because if it takes him 2 years to get his degree, it takes him 2 years to get his degree. Guess what? After 2 years, he is at peace. I'd rather him be at peace than him over here with his hair falling out, talking about I'm trying to get this degree, bruh. Like, and that also leads me into like FOMO, like fear of missing out.
Yeah, I had to get over that real quick. I like every now and again I'll have a hint of it, but me being me, I'll stay home. It's okay. So outside is expensive. That cuts the FOMO real quick.
Ooh.
Outside is expensive.
Mm.
I don't gotta go. I don't gotta be a part. It's okay.
I've learned that.
There will always
It's
be a
fine.
next time.
Yeah.
And once you understand that there will always be a next time, you're good.
But what about the FOMO that's attached to your goal? Like, I'm not trying to put this fear in you, so please, Ray, don't take this as a fear. But let's say like Ray's over here, he's chasing it, he's trying to get his master's. But there's a job lining up where his master's can definitely, push him towards that job. But however, it don't mean that job's going to be here in 2 years.
There will always be another job.
Yeah.
That's the FOMO I'm really like on. Like, what if I don't do this in time?
There will
Would I
always
miss
be
out
another
on this
one.
opportunity?
There will always be another one.
I understand, but that's not in my brain though.
But you have to plant it there. There will always be another opportunity. Granted, it may not be the same opportunity. It can be immensely better. It can be an even better paying job. Suppose you get this job that you're afraid of missing out on. Okay, you have a good pay. All right, cool. But because you don't yet have that degree and you're doing everything in tandem, there are things that are falling through the cracks. And there are things that you are not noticing, things that will affect your job or affect your work progress of everything. And had you taken the time, done that degree, understand fully what it is to look out for and what you should understand, then it kind of dulls the experience of it all, like you not having a degree versus you just doing it because you're afraid of missing out on the job.
So no longer becomes an accomplishment. It comes now something I got to work towards and I got to get, because if I don't get, then I'm not this person. Then I'm not this person. Then I'm a failure. Then
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I say this. One thing I used to struggle with is sometimes being present in now. Like, right? Just focusing on what I'm doing now. Like, I'd give you an example. Fear of missing out. And it's probably the opposite, right? Where I wasn't worried about fear of missing out, but an opportunity came
Mm-hmm.
and I missed out on it because I didn't have my degree. And it was offering me like, what a-
Shit.
right? I was like,
He can retire me if he wants
you
to.
know? And I was like, okay. I was gonna go back to school anyway,
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't for me,
Mm.
you know. And I believe that what's for me is for me. You know, who knows? Maybe I could have been walking into something that's a mess and takes a lot more time from my family, you know. But when something's lined up for you and you start to do, when something is lined up for you and you tackle what you have to do, like either getting your degree or doing a certification program, you know, those when it comes your way,
It's you.
it feels more, you know what I'm
It feel
saying?
more. It feels more. Dang it! What's that word? It feels.
Feels for me, I think it feels right.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it feels like all right, I'm here now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I'll
finally.
finally,
Mm-hmm.
you know, now let me tackle this, you know. But that's like the opposite that happened. You're talking
Yeah.
about fear of missing out, and I'm saying I missed out.
I think you said it best to me one time. I think I called you up, and I don't know what I was complaining or like venting about, but I remember you saying, "What is for you will be for you, and no one can take that away from you." And that to me was just like it made it okay. It made it okay if I missed out.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I missed out, granted I wasn't prepared for it right now,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that it was for me right now.
Yeah. And
Nope.
I think some people kind of narrow down that saying a bit too much. What is for me will be for me. They narrow it down to the job. Oh, that job wasn't for me. It's not necessarily that the job wasn't for you. Maybe that I want to say like realm or like experience. That experience is for you. It's just a matter of doing what you need to do in order to be able to receive it the next time it comes around. Because again, it is going to come around because it is for you. And sometimes you start late, you take detours in life, in situations and circumstances and all of that. But when there is an experience that you need to have that will better your life, it's going to come back around. And it's up to you to prepare yourself
Yep.
for when it comes.
Yep.
So you going to school, getting that degree is going to prepare
Prepare
you
you.
for the next time either a job of that magnitude or even bigger comes about.
Right. Yeah.
So-
And there's been times where like I want that job, I want that job. I ain't get it. When now I finally got maybe in a managerial position, I'm just like, wow, I really wasn't ready. I wasn't ready back then. I was like, I'm barely hanging on now. But, you know what I'm saying? You know, so you know, I agree with you.
Me and my wife, we were talking, and we were talking about like how the lack of preparedness can lead you down to where you now feel like you're being punished in life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that you're being punished in life, it's just that you really didn't prep. And now that you're at this stage in life, it's like now everything is coming. I feel like, you know when they say age is nothing but a number, you're definitely right about that. However, whatever age that you're at and you now decide to start, there's consequences that you can, live through, like, and there's consequences that will like now be with you for life.
Yeah.
I feel like at a certain age, if you don't really tackle into what you need to start doing for your future, there's consequences that will live with you for the rest of your life. Like, for instance, if you don't save up for retirement and then you decide to start saving up at 50, what are you really doing?
I don't think I will ever retire.
I don't believe that. I don't think I will ever retire. However, I don't believe that I want to work like the way I'm working right now.
No. This is all foundational stuff.
Exactly. But like you just said, foundational stuff, but not a lot of people have that foundation at all. So when they get into this big stage of life, and when I say big stage of life, that could be any age. Now they're trying to work at that foundation. There was a time where you should have prepared yourself for that foundation. But now now that you did not prepare yourself for this foundation, it kind of now seems like everything now that's coming towards your doorstep is a punishment. And it's like, no, it's not a punishment. Now you're just in that accelerated class. Now instead of taking 2 years, now you have to do it in 1 year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And now you got to be like, I got to now get this degree in 1 year because I don't have the time to wait for 2 years. Ray got time for 2 years.
Yeah.
Another man may not have time for 2 years.
True.
And now because he didn't prepare himself for this, now he has to face what is life right now. I got to now prepare in this accelerated program when I had time to take my time. And I feel like when it comes to goals and when we have these sayings definitely could be said for everybody, especially like, oh, if it wasn't for me, it wasn't for me. And a lot of people use that to sit down, do nothing, and think that the opportunities are going to come to your doorstep. Listen here. Faith got two sides of the coin. There's a believing side and there's an action side. If you don't put no action to your faith, it's going to be dead. If you're not spiritual, let me put it down in the non-spiritual. If you do nothing for your dreams, you going to be a bum.
Leave.
All right? I'm so serious.
I had to say
All
it
right?
like that.
If you do nothing towards your dreams, you're gonna be a bum. If you over here dreaming that, oh, I want to play basketball, but you never pick up a basketball and go shoot on the weekends, you're gonna be a bum. Not a bum like, you on the street, but you're not gonna get your
You're
dreams.
not going to accomplish your dreams.
Tony Ann is my filter.
Oh, man.
And they say age is nothing but a number, but it kind of does matter because as you get older, energy is something as you get older. The energy you had as a kid is not the same energy you're gonna have at 50.
Bro, I'm 31 and I'm over here like, yo, I feel
So it's a real
I
thing.
feel my life forms evaporated from my body. I'm looking at 9 o'clock like, I'm tired.
Bro, I used to stay up for like 3 days of work and I can't do that no more. Do like schoolwork. I can't. Nah, man. I gotta have 2 hours here, 2 hours there.
I need a nap.
Yeah, a nap.
I need
You know what
a
I'm saying? So
break.
energy is a real thing, especially as you get older. So, especially in your youth, take advantage of all the time you got to make sure you can have your fun
Yeah.
and balance. Which I'm gonna get to that perhaps later.
I was
Have your
just
fun,
about to
but
say that.
make sure you set yourself up so when you get older, man, you can use that energy for things you really want to do.
Facts. And to my young people, before we get to the balance part,
We are young though. You say young people.
I mean,
So,
yeah, facts. We
He
ain't,
old.
bruh, I
Only
am
40,
the
yeah.
youngest one here, okay? Literally, I don't think I'm the youngest one in this whole entire apartment complex, but I'm the youngest one here. However, when it comes to our younger people,
Okay.
the people that are in their 20s, it's fine to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, in your 20s, that's the time for you to try, and guess what? Try again. In your 30s, it's time for you to start perfecting what you have been trying. And even in there, you still have room to now fail and still get back up. I feel like when you start hitting your 40s, mid 40s, 50s, that's when your perfection now starts to become your craft. Where your craft starts to become your art. And you're like, nah, I'm good at this. This is why a lot of people, when they start businesses in their late age, they're able to pop off
Yeah.
because they've been doing it or been trying for so long that they've just been waiting for that one pop off moment. Like, I'm here.
They've been taking their lessons.
Like, for instance, when Ray said, like, oh, he's now at this management position, he realized if he would have got this when he was younger, he would have never don't know how to handle it. However, because he's now at this stage of life, he knows how to handle it.
Yeah.
Let's jump into balance. What you got to say about balance?
oh, we're gonna jump into balance now.
Jumping right into it. I mean, we jumped over the icebreaker. We jumped over the funny scenarios. Now we jumping right into balance.
Okay, it was more so like a story about. I'm not too sure if you ever read the book called The Alchemist
Yes.
by Paulo
Heard
Coelho.
Oh, I
I
love
read
that
it.
book.
Yeah.
I-
And
that-
there's a part in the book where he goes to like this either a castle or something, and it's like a king castle, and he goes to ask this king about how to be happy, so how to
Yeah.
gain wisdom, right? Through life, happiness. And the king puts some oil in a spoon and says, "Walk through the palace," right? And as he's walking through the palace, make sure you marvel what's in the palace.
Mm.
When the boy came back, he had no oil in his spoon. So he's like, "Now I want you to focus on the oil in the spoon and walk through the palace again." So he came back with the oil in the spoon, and the king was like, "Life is about balance. Um, if you want to experience life, you have to not only watch what's going on out there, but keep the eye on your prize, on the goal. Don't let that oil spill out at the same time." So it's about time for
Yeah.
everything. You look, you make sure everything's okay. You look, you know. So that was I was going to say about balance. So and that's something that part of the book always stuck with me.
Yeah.
What?
And I'm just like, okay, Ray,
That summarized everything I
is the
had to say
oil
about
is
balance.
the oil in my spoon still? Like, is it,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
am I getting too distracted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
For me, it was a part in the book where now this has just become a mini book club. So welcome to the mini book club of Blank Pages. Let me stop. But the part in that book was that taught me balance was when the man had to sit down and eat, and he was eating, and the alchemist at the time, he brought out his food too, but he started doing all this other work. That's when he was working at the tea shop.
okay, yeah.
And he was working with this man at the tea shop for like a long time. And he brought in revenue, he brought in business in as well. But he always wondered why he never worked through his lunch. And the man said, "No, this is my time to eat. I would definitely get back to my work, but this time is for me."
Mm-hmm.
And that taught me balance because I used to be go, 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 go.
Eating and working.
Eating and working,
Okay.
not even eating at some days. And it's just like, when you gonna sit down and take your time for you? Because if you don't, guess what? The work's still gonna be there.
Mhm.
Whether you do it now
Or later.
or later, the work is gonna be there. You know what's not? The time you're gonna take for yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's funny how we read the same book. He saw the oil, and I was just like, "Oh, that was a dope part," but that did not teach me time.
Time.
What taught me time was when the man literally was just like, "Nah, close the shop.
Mhm.
It's time to eat.
Yeah.
The work is still gonna be here when we get back."
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Wow.
like when we do balance, I love how you use the oil because it shows you that you will never have what I like to call a 50-50, like a balance scale.
Mm.
Something is always going to outweigh something in the long run. However, it's how you balance that.
Mhm.
There's moments and times where you have to look at the oil
Gotta
and
check
stop
yourself.
gazing up. That's going to be a 70-30. That's not a 50-50.
Yeah.
Something else is getting your attention.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's other times where you have to look up and start stargazing and stop looking at the oil. That's not a 50-50. That's a 70-30, 80-20, however you want to do the math. The math is mathing for me right now. But that's how it is. And I
Right.
feel like when we think of balance, we think that everything has to be level.
And it doesn't.
Nah,
It
has
doesn't.
to it has to be uneven.
Mm-hmm.
An unbalanced life is a balanced life.
Yeah. And even then, I was like, yo, even if I'm like, I follow the, this little wisdom that the book gave, I was like, yo, if things got a whack, I got to come back with a little something.
Exactly.
A little oil in the spoon is better than none. So, but yeah, you're right, man. My boss used to be like, hey, you going to take lunch? I'm like, nah, I'm fasting. Nah, I'm really just doing work. But that's how it is. You do have to take that time for yourself. It's very important to take that lunch break,
It's necessary.
reset. Yeah.
Necessary.
I feel like for this year we are, I think, setting the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Not for our goals and not really for what we're anticipating,
Mm-hmm.
but for our work ethic and how we are going to get these goals done.
Yeah.
It feels weirder now. I don't know if I should. It feels like I'm more mature. I'm adulting. But however, it feels like I have these goals and I have been doing them. I'm playing with Gabe's toy. I've been doing them.
So much for adulting.
I know, right? So much for adulting, but I'm getting distracted by this.
Hey, it's a little fisher toys.
Yeah.
So good.
I feel as though I'm becoming more mature, but I don't think that it's the maturity aspect. I think it's more like I'm becoming more of myself, where I'm figuring out myself and figuring out what is best for me. Not saying like, I'm only here just trying to please myself. And no, I'm figuring out like what is best for me. How do I best accomplish this? What am I best at? How do I now perfect the things that I'm not best at? And I think after years and years of trying to push myself to a ideal place in life, I'm realizing it's really not an ideal place in life. Because let's say like I'm trying to get a supervisory job. That comes with its own turmoils and whatnot. If I'm trying to have a kid. That comes with its own turmoils and whatnot.
Different levels, different boss.
Exactly. So I'm learning in life that it's not what I'm trying to go get. It's not a place that I'm trying to be. There's no real finish line. There's no real goal. There's no real, oh, I finally made it. No. Even when people finally made it, they still got to worry about being on the top. It's about
maintenance at that point. Gotta learn how to maintain that. That's a skill too.
That's exactly what I'm about to say. It's about maintaining yourself. Because every level that you're going to be at, you still got to maintain yourself. You still got to maintain your posture. You still got to maintain your mentality. You still got to maintain your emotions. You still got to maintain you as a core being.
And the things you're responsible for.
And this is why we have a whole lot of suicides when we like, oh, but they made it. Yeah, they made it, but they never maintained themselves. Robin Williams, the funny comedian, white guy, Mrs. Doubtfire, how can a man like that, who was all smiles, made a monkey cry who was depressed, commit suicide? He may not have maintained himself. He lost himself along the way. And I feel as though when we are focusing on goals and aspirations in life, we have to also put the goal in for ourselves to be maintained. Like Ray said, take your time to look at the oil, but also take time to admire the scenery. Take time for yourself. I make sure I go on nightly walks. Even my neighbor knows downstairs I'm going on nightly walks. And yesterday I ran into him. He was like, oh, what you about to do? I was like, about to go on my nightly walk. He's like, why? I was like, to be honest, I get out the house. I don't have to see these four walls. I walk, but the thing is that it's just peaceful for me. I'm able to release endorphins, I guess if that's the scientific way, but I'm able to just be one with myself, and then I can plan out properly. Yo, how did today go? What did you not like about today? It's like a one-on-one therapy session with myself. And I get to learn and love me more to be like, yeah, we ain't doing that tomorrow. Now we're not doing this again. And now you have more respect for yourself. So when things are presented to you, you don't have FOMO.
Exactly.
This is not for me. I was telling Ray that I had the opportunity to sing on a Thursday. And I'm over here like, ooh, should I sing or not? Do I go to work? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, you know what? What am I prioritizing? Peace. I definitely want to have enough funds in order to accomplish that peace. So that means I may have to sacrifice on singing on that Thursday. Do I feel okay with doing it? No. I feel like I'm about to miss out on some big opportunity. But however, what are you really missing out on?
Yeah. There will be a next time.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love this episode.
Me too.
Yeah, we just like jumped into everything.
Literally.
It was literally from how's your new year to yeah, this is our plans and this is what we're gonna dump on you.
Balance.
So what are some practical steps for our patients to have like a meaningful, because I don't want to use successful, a meaningful year? A year that is filled with some type of meaning. And when I mean by meaning, I mean like you are able to look back and feel proud of the work that you have done. What are some steps?
I think for me, one step would be to really sit down and see what it is you really want overall. If there was one thing you can accomplish for the year of 2025, what is that? Whether it be big, whether it be small, what is it? And first, Figure out what you want to do. I feel like that's step number one
Mm.
before you dive into how to get to it. What do you want? You know, Ray wanted to get his master's degree. Is it your master's you're going for? Yeah. He wanted to get his master's degree. That was his goal. Then he sat down and said, okay, what do I want to get it in? He narrowed it down. So for me, the first step is, what do you want?
Mm.
What do you want? And be honest with yourself. What do you want?
How about you, Ray?
I'm gonna take it a step further. After finding out what you want, start to really lay out what's going to be required of you to get what those things are. And sometimes we don't really understand how much it will take, how much time it will take, right? So even like putting your goals into little micro pieces, until it connects to the bigger picture, to have an impact. Because sometimes we have this goal and we're trying to do so much and it takes away from your family.
Yeah.
It takes away from other things. And that thing that you wanted to do so much, after you're done, now you got to come back and try to patch things up. And certain things are just unpatchable, Certain things like too late. So you got to make sure whatever goal you have, if you want it to be meaningful, is to take step by step, right, little by little, to accomplish them. I think that's at the end of the year, you can say, okay, I kept things together. Things didn't fall apart. I may not have accomplished 100% of things, but I'm still on the right path to where I need to be.
Yeah, and don't get bogged down by getting everything done within 1 year. Again, things take time, but have you made progress? So
I don't want to say, because they've been building off each other, so I guess I gotta let me stop. Bless others from your overflow. I feel as though, just to give like a example or analogy, sometimes we feel like we're worn down because we keep on pouring into other people, and we're only pouring what we have left for ourselves. And in the Bible, it says, thou anointest my head with oil and my cup runneth over. And I'm realizing that the cup runneth over. You ever seen like one of those videos when there's a champagne cup on top, and then it's like a tower down?
Champagne pyramids.
The champagne pyramids, and you pour the bottle of champagne in the one cup up there, but then it overflows and it pours into the other cups, and the other cups overflows and it pours into the other cups. You don't have any lack from the top cup.
Yeah.
And I feel like in life, we are that top cup. But then we're over here pouring the little that we have in each and every cup, and we feel empty.
Yeah.
Empty. I feel as though when you start to prioritize yourself, and not in a selfish manner, no, but prioritize yourself in, is this going to accomplish, or is this aligned with my goals for this year? Because sometimes your goal for a year is to say no to everything just to get to a place where you need to be. Because however you may say yes to everything, guess what? Not everything gonna say yes to you. Just because you help everyone don't mean everyone gonna be able to help you.
That's so true.
So I feel as though when we are starting these goals and these new years, because there's more years to come, we have to get into a place where we are aligning ourselves with our goal, and our goals are aligning themselves with us, where everything around us must fall subject to what our goal is. And if it does not align with my goal for this year, I am sorry. It has to be a no, because you will benefit from my overflow. I am no longer looking out for Ray so Ray can look out for me. I'm looking out for me so I can be better for Ray. Ray gonna look out for him so he could be better for me. Because if I gain some more wisdom, it's going to trickle down to him. If he gains some more wisdom, it's going to trickle down to me. Tony Ann is not in this situation at all. Let me stop.
To see, what about me?
But however, no, like, Tony Ann is in this situation. Tony is ever.
Of course. Like, if someone comes up, I'm like, hey, Tony,
Hey, Tony.
this is like what's happening in the baking industry right now. Like, oh, come on.
But I feel as though we are way more focused in trying to bless everyone around us. And that's great. That's amazing. But however, do it from your overflow, please.
Yeah.
Because guess what? They're going to benefit.
Mhm.
Because as soon as you hit the top, or as soon as you are now working in the overflow of Christ Jesus himself, I'm sorry, we are a spiritual podcast. We pray before every podcast. So it's one of those things where you're going to hear Christ. And for my non-believers, stop hustling to the point you're going to die. Hustle for yourself so other people can reap from what you have sown. Get that money so you can help out grandma with her bills if that's the goals.
Intentional hustling. Don't just hustle just to hustle.
Yeah.
Let it be intentional. You're working towards a goal. You need these extra funds. Okay, what are other means and ways? Don't just jump on anything. Like, again, let it align with what you want for your future, whether it's an experience that can benefit your future or not, So
Facts. And put a do signs up to FOMO. When FOMO come at your door, it'd be like, yo, I'm sorry. I know I'm
Next
feeling
time.
you. Next time.
Next
Because
time.
they're going to be a next time.
There's gonna be a next time.
It may not be what they had. It may not be at the level. Nah. But guess what? They're going to be a next time.
Yeah.
But what's right now is the time that you have for yourself, which may not come.
Yeah.
Not saying it will never come, but it may not come. It may not come in the way that it's coming. It may not come in the present. It may not come, not present. It may not come in a gift wrap shaped that is coming in now. But you won't have this opportunity again. So align yourself with your goals. They're going to reap from what you have sown. It's going to be an overflow. You're going to be the top champagne glass and everybody else is going to be drunk off of you.
And again, it's not being said for you to be selfish and just be like, no, I'm not helping no one. I'm just going to accomplish my own.
Don't
No.
be selfish, please.
No. We're saying focus on the core of who you are, what you want. Everything else that you say yes to in some way should align with what it is you are doing. Do not overwork yourself to the point where you have nothing left to give to yourself. Just make sure that those, I guess, scenarios or situations or people you're saying yes to can benefit from something extra
Facts.
from you.
And you got to know what really matters to you. If you don't know what really matters to you, it would never align with what you really want. That's what is going to happen. You got to know what really matters to you. Yeah. You got anything to say to our
No, I
patient?
think you guys
Well,
did that well.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in for the first year of first year. Wow. First episode of 2020. Yo. The first episode of 2025. Thank you for our day ones. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we really in 2025 with this.
We are. It's a whole new year.
It's a whole new year. I'll stop before we get copyrighted.
Yeah. Copyright strike.
Thank you. For myself, Khalib. Thank you for tuning in. From Tony Ann.
Thank you for tuning in.
From Ray.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, stay turning. Thank you.
So we're not telling them where to follow us on no more?
Oh, so sorry. Tony Ann, take that away.
So you can follow us on Instagram,
C.
TikTok,
C.
if it's still around.
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok might be.
Okay.
We'd still be on TikTok,
We'll
however
still
long
be on
TikTok is going to
TikTok.
be around here for.
Exactly. YouTube,
Yes.
Apple Music, Apple Podcasts,
Yes.
Spotify.
Spotify. And we also have a Facebook community.
Oh yay!
All
Yes,
these
we
will be in
do.
our link down below.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in, and also see you later.
Stay blessed.
Stay blessed. Stay blessed and not stressed. That got to go on a t-shirt.
Wow.
What? It got to go in a t-shirt. What? Come on.